Hey y'all, my name is Dria and I'm your personal retail expert and retail buyer. And I have over 16 years of diverse retail experience and I've had the pleasure of having worked for some of the country's largest retailers across varying roles. However, more than half of that time has been spent as a retail buyer, where I ultimately decide what product is to be sold in a retailer's stores or on their website. And over the years, as a buyer, I've launched countless brands and sat through hundreds of pitch meetings. And as such, I know what it takes for brands to vastly increase their chances of appealing to buyers and getting their product placed in stores or online. My goal here is to share my industry expertise and knowledge to help historically underrepresented businesses, aka hubs, while arming them with firsthand knowledge on how to succeed in retail. And I classify hubs where at least 51% of the company is either women owned, minority owned, LGBTQ plus owned, veteran owned, or owned by those with disabilities. And one of the most common questions I get as a retail buyer is, Dria, how do I get my product in stores? And unfortunately, that's a loaded question because every retailer and therefore every buyer is different. They have different needs, preferences, and requirements. But no worries, I still got you covered. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 tips and or considerations on how to get your brand or increase your brand's chances of getting into retail. Now let's get at it. Tip number 5, get your pitch right. This is crucial. And no, I'm not talking about this type of pitch. I'm referring to your elevator pitch. As a business owner, you should be able to effectively articulate information about your company and the product or service you're offering in a way that hooks the listener and leaves them wanting to know more. Your pitch is not a dissertation. It should be brief and only a few sentences. And if you need help writing your pitch, no worries, I got you covered. Check out my video, Why Your Pitch Sucks. I'll link it below. And even if you do think you have your pitch down, it's still worth checking out, just as another means of validation. But at the end of the day, your pitch should be etched in your memory because you never know when you might need to be on and unexpectedly need to pitch your brand. Additionally, everyone in your company should also have your pitch down, and it's crucial that it's consistent across everyone. I can't stress how important this is. And if you aren't able to pitch your brand effectively, I mean, really, what are you doing? Number 4, hire a sales broker or a sales rep. To be clear, I'm not talking about your internal sales team. For most retailers, there are typically local brokerage firms that represent brands for usually a dedicated retailer or a very select number of retailers. Most of the time, these firms have worked with that particular retailer for several years and are very, very well versed in their processes and any specific nuances pertaining to that particular retailer. But more importantly, they usually have established trust and very strong rapport with the buyers at that retailer. Sometimes, even to the point where a buyer might automatically give you a pitch meeting just because the sales rep asked. I know as a buyer, I've done that quite often. Additionally, the sales rep would have gone through several pitches with the buyers and are going to have a better understanding of what they're looking for, their expectations, and they're going to be able to help you prepare in a way that's tailored specific to that buyer's preferences. And that is truly invaluable. And if you are ultimately selected to be part of the buyer's assortment, sales reps are going to be priceless in helping get your company onboarded and help facilitate things like new vendor setup, item setup, making sure you understand things like the retailer's terms, compliance, and so much more. However, this does come with a cost, and the costing structure will vary greatly by each firm. But typically, they do charge a percentage of sales, and there may also be an upfront cost to take you on as a client. However, this again will vary greatly by the particular brokerage firm. And depending on where you are in your business and how much capital you have, this might not be feasible for everyone. However, number 3 which is to attend trade shows. Now, depending on your industry, there are likely major trade shows that most retailers attend. For electronics, there's CES. For food, there's Expo West. For beauty, there's Cosmoprof, and so on and so forth. And a quick Google search can help you identify the big ones for your industry. But buyers literally attend these shows and are hunting for the latest and greatest in brands and innovation to add to their assortment. Again, another reason to have your elevator pitch down. The cost to attend these shows are generally inexpensive, with many being free to attend. However, if you want your brand to have a presence via a booth or display, that does come at a cost, and those can be rather expensive. So that might not be an option for everyone. However, in the past, I have seen some shows offer special programs to help with these costs for up and coming businesses, as well as the option to share a booth with another company. It's worth reaching out directly with the trade via the trade show's website to inquire about potential options. Again, even if you don't have a booth or display, it's still well worth going because usually there are events and seminars held at these trade shows which buyers and other industry experts attend. So it's an amazing networking opportunity. Even if it's just to network with other businesses in the industry or to simply scope out the competition. So, again, highly recommend. Finding any part of this video at all useful, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out and helps me spread my content to others who might need it. Number 2, ensuring you can afford it. Most brands get so fixated and excited about getting their brand into stores that they fail to realize that there is a significant cost to doing business. For most retailers, depending on their payment terms, you won't get paid for several months until after your product ships. On top of that, there are a multitude of allowances and discounts that are automatically taken off the cost of each purchase order. And these costs will vary greatly by retailer. Additionally, ensuring you have the operational efficiency to fulfill orders is pivotal. So ask yourself, if you got an order for 5,000 units across every item within your assortment, could you fulfill that order or each of those orders on time and in full? On top of that, could you afford to not get paid for several months and still maintain your day-to-day operations? Do you have a product or products you've been dying to get in retail stores but haven't had any luck? What's been your biggest roadblock? Or better yet, what insight or tips would you like me to share in a future video? Let me know in the comments below. Number 1, knowing the void your brand fills. This is by far the most important. And I don't mean at a broad level or specifying a particular target audience. And don't get me wrong, those things are absolutely essential. And in fact, you shouldn't even be thinking about getting into retail until you have that figured out. Here, I'm referring specifically to the retailer you're pitching to. This means going into their stores if they have them and or visiting their website and really studying their assortment within your category and gaining an understanding of the brands they carry, any key attributes or lack of attributes for like items, and identifying what's called white space opportunity. This is essentially identifying the void you'd be able to fill with your product within their assortment to drive incremental sales. If you can do this in an impactful way and your void you're filling is meaningful enough, you found the golden ticket and have done a big portion of the buyer's job for them. I'm always appreciative of brands that do their homework and are able to provide this type of perspective. I can't think of a buyer who will fault you for this, at least not a good one. I hope you found these tips useful and can apply them within your business. It's important to remember these things take time, and that's okay. It's much more important to really make sure you get it right before dipping your toes into the world of retail. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And if you're interested to see if I could potentially help you in your business in a consulting capacity, visit the link below to my website to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Until next time, blessings and blooms to you and your business. See you next time. Bye.